Yuhan, so you know the drill for this. I've got your images all in Lightroom here, and we have all of your new images. Those are the first 10 that we have posted. Or, I'm sorry, those are all of your images from past semesters, and then we have your 2 new images at the very bottom. Now, for your first set of images, I just kind of wanted to get an idea of what you guys were working on, and I wasn't looking at them for detail, right? I was looking at them for overall content. But as I've uploaded them here, I can see that none of them have metadata. And they also have kind of weird names here. So all of these images are without metadata. And as you know, you were in my class before, you know that I need to see that metadata for credit on all images. So that's true of all of those past images, though I'm not going to go back to Module 1 and change any grades there. But for your Module 2 images, I'm still not seeing any metadata. So I need to see that in order to give you credit for all of these assignments. So please get that into me, resubmit these same images with the metadata intact so I can give you credit and give you, frankly, better feedback on them. Another thing is that these images aren't quite sized right. They're at 1600 on the longest side, and they need to be at 2000, and that'll just allow me to see them at a larger view. So if you could also do that, that would be great. Now, looking at these images as a whole, it feels like you're like a travel photographer, right? I don't know where all of these images were taken, and I don't even know if that's important because the narrative is more of like all of these vastly different landscapes that you're showing us, from like snow-covered mountains to here we have tents and then the mountains covered by the clouds in the background, to like a barren beach here, or this looks like this is like in Utah or something, where there's dwellings in the land or in the hillside there. And then we have some aerial shots. We have some images that we don't know if they were shot with a drone, but are definitely higher, and some images that are without a doubt shot with a drone. So it's this interesting mix of images, and I think the differences in all of them are really what is going to make it all come together, right? So we don't need all images to be really similar to have a cohesive body of work, but we need to see this variety repeated. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Now, these last 2 images that you've shown, again, like all of these images, are pretty highly post-processed. So that's something that needs to stay true to all of your images. But as this images is blown up, like I said, it's only 1600, so I'm not seeing all of the detail. It gets really pixelated for me. So it looks like there's probably tents that are down here, some sort of camp, but I can't really see that detail because there's not like sharp detail throughout this image. So I'm going to need you to submit larger images so I can see all of that detail and see how that's working with other images. But this image, you have the like towering mountains in the background. They're left in mystery as the clouds are coming across them. So that creates this really interesting atmosphere for me that I'm really drawn to. And then the second image is showing us the Milky Way and some star lines happening through them. Now, as we photograph the stars, I would encourage you to have faster exposures, right? So it's amazing to me how fast your exposure needs to be when you're photographing the stars or moon, because even in this, I'm guessing this was a fairly fast exposure, we can see so much movement. There's not a lot of clarity to this image as we move back. It almost has like a Star Wars or something, like moving towards the future or moving back in space sort of vibe to it. So that's something that I would like to see corrected in this image. Not corrected in this image because you can't go back and retake this, but I'm sorry, you can't go back and edit this, but you could retake this image to get that effect without having it be so noisy or without having so much movement going on. The clarity in an image like this is really what's going to make it come together for us. So some beautiful images, a great variety that you have here, but there is a lot of concern on my part not seeing the metadata, and I need to see that for all images to give you credit.